Oh, I'm very excited right now, as you can probably tell. I The reason I'm excited is because I've got my new book out, and if you're with me on my LinkedIn profile, you probably would have noticed my last post. I published a new book, and I'm very happy about it. Here it is, Leadership in Motion. That is my newest book. It's my second book, and I've got a third one that is already ready. This one is in French, because as you probably know, if you follow what I do, I am both Francophone and Anglophone. I speak both French and English, and I write in French as well because I think this one is particularly focused at African issues back in the continent. But let's get back to the current book, which is about leadership in motion. Now, I'm just going to take some time, the next 10 minutes, it won't be too long, to try to give a little bit of a story behind this book and a little bit of a summary of what it is all about. And I will encourage you, obviously, to get one. Excuse me. So, leadership in motion. What is it all about? Well, I think it is important to know that leadership is not is much less about title and more about how you move things. Because only things or people or entities that move do need leadership. I guess everybody will agree with me. If you're a tree, you're not going anywhere, therefore, you need no leadership. But if you're a human being or an animal, well, you have some locomotion to do. You go from one geographical point to another, and therefore, you need a leadership. And all of us are actually leaders. As long as you have a body, which is a vessel, that body is obviously connected to a mind, and a mind that is also connected to a spirit. All of these things are important element that need to be managed and led. That's why we need leadership, and all of us have that capacity. And what I'm trying to say in this book is, number one, there are four critical things that I'll talk about today. Number one is that we all need to recognize their leadership potential, because what we have is leadership potential, and all of us do obviously apply some leadership in various circumstances, even when we were little kids in kindergarten. Remember the song Follow the Leader, or the game, some make it into a song, others just a game where, one person, you go into some sort of conga line, and one person is followed by many others, and wherever that person goes, the rest of the group goes. So that's follow the leader. So you need to recognize the leadership that we all have from early, our early stage of life. And then obviously that recognition means that we understand we have the capacity, and then we have to do something about it, because potential means nothing unless it is developed and realized. So, from recognition, we need to go into a refinement. You need to refine your leadership skills, and then you can realize it into the real world. But that's just part of the first thing, which is recognize the leadership potential that we have. And the second thing is, we obviously need to be able to lead ourselves before we can lead others. Yeah, you cannot lead others if you cannot lead yourself. And this is critical, this is important. And we talk about that in the book. Self leadership is more important than people leadership, because there are two main components of leadership: self leadership and people leadership. And I believe, obviously, that people leadership is very important. But in order for you to be good at people leadership, you first have to be good at self leadership. And when we talk about leadership, a lot of the times we tend to think of the collective aspect of things, because that's where a lot of it comes from. But there's a tendency to forget about the people leadership. I mean, the self leadership aspect of leadership, where everything starts, and that is obviously very important. I talk about this in the book. When you're good at leading yourself, then you can go on and be able to lead others. And the third thing is, you need to know how to turn challenges into opportunities. and opportunities for transformation, because ultimately, and that's where the whole movement comes from, the whole motion thing, as we say, leadership in motion. So it has to be practice. There must be movement, and that movement creates transformation, because leading yourself means that you need to go from one place to another. And as you travel that journey, you get transformed. And the journey is even more important than destination, because you may not even actually reach the destination, but it doesn't matter, because if you have lived, you've experienced the journey and you've enjoyed it, the transformation doesn't matter. Those of you who are familiar with the Bible know that Moses, who liberated the people of Israel from Egypt, never reached the destination, but he was very fundamental for the journey out of Egypt into Israel. Now, you don't have to be a Christian believer or Bible believer, but it's just an example we're giving to say that in leadership, the journey is more important than destination, because you might not reach the destination. Somebody else may take over from the vision that drives you, and may continue to lift the banner until the people that perhaps you have in mind when you exercise your leadership can arrive at destination. But nobody is guaranteed of arriving at that destination. All we can do is uh, set a course, move, motion, keep happening, and we get as far as we can get until perhaps, if we're lucky, we can reach the destination. And then the fourth thing is create impact, not only in business, but in community and personal life. Now, the angle in this leadership book is more about impact in business, because I am actually very interested in business development, entrepreneurship development. And this book has come out of that sort of context. And I am trying to, I suppose, invite more people to become more entrepreneurial, because as time goes, with all the technological disruptions, development, if you can call them in a more positive way, because disruptions may not always be positive. There will be a time where there will be less work, because machines will take over, robots will take over, and there will be less jobs for us as humans. Therefore, we ought to be able to develop our entrepreneurial skills so that we can do things that machine can't do, or we can bring some sort of value to what machines are doing, what technology is doing. So entrepreneurship must now be embedded in all forms of education, in my view, and it has to be a key component out of it. So it is critical for all of us to be able to develop some entrepreneurial skills. And this book also talks about how you can get that leadership into your entrepreneurial plans. By the way, before I finish, the book is available on Amazon, and you just need to go. There it is. It's less than $5, $4.99. You can get a copy, an ebook, and if you need a physical one, contact me. You can get it for about $23, $22.99. We can send you a paperback if you in Australia. If you're overseas, you have no choice. You got to go through Amazon. But in Australia, we can send you a book for that price. So I've got 1 minute to conclude. I'm very excited. I've got this book published. It took me about a year and a half to work on it. And I've been on a leadership journey for quite some time, about 20, 25 years. But if I talk about self-leadership, which is a very important aspect of leadership, and I talk about it in the book, I've been in leadership ever since I've been born, because every human being is a leader in some capacity. And all of us can develop the potential we have in us. So we need to recognize the potential first, and then develop and refine it. That's number one. Number two, well, as you know, we need to be able to lead ourselves before we can lead others. Therefore, there's a work that needs to be done in us before that leadership capacity can be deployed out there for others. And the number three, a leader is someone who knows how to turn challenges into opportunities for transformation. That is very important. The movement needs to keep happening for transformation. Challenges will come along the way, but when you're a leader, you know how to turn that into transformative experience. And number four is leadership is about creating impact. It's not about theories. It's not about all these things we put in our head. It's how you exercise the leadership in a way that you can actually create impact, and positive impact, that is in the society, whether it's in the business sector, whether it's in the social sector or any other sector, wherever you are, create some impact. And that is ultimately what leadership is all about. So I'll stop here. And I want to say thank you. Please do not hesitate to contact us if you need to participate in this conversation about leadership. One last thing I would say is we're having our series of summits happening in the next 6 to 10 weeks, or 12 weeks rather. The next one is the summit that is happening in Perth on the 18th of October. So I'm inviting you to attend. And then after that, it will be on the 1st of November. That will be in Sydney. And no, actually, before Sydney, there's a 24th of October. That is in Adelaide. And then Sydney is on the 1st of November. And then we're going to New Zealand, Auckland, on the 8th of November. So let me just show you the, that's Perth there. Perth is happening on the 18th of November, and I'm inviting you. If you are in Perth, do not miss it. 18th of November in collaboration with Curtin University, Center for Africa-Australia Relations at Curtin University. The summit is happening on the 18th of November. We also have awards for entrepreneurs. And then we go to Adelaide on 24th, to Sydney on the 1st of November, and to Auckland on the 8th of November. And potentially 16th of November we'll be in Brisbane. That is yet to be decided. I want to thank you for the time, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube, and also contact us if you need to somehow contribute to our leadership and entrepreneurship work in the community. Thank you very much, and see you later.
African soil, his roots run deep. Oh, Clyde Sherretti, rise and lead, a force of change, a living creed. He wrote the tales of a people's plight, a voice of truth in the darkest night. With every page, he built a bridge to hope and strength on the highest ridge. No borders hold what love can weave.